Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay. It's IDGAFFOODS. We're here with the second episode of the podcast with your host, IDGAFFOODS, and co-host, Mega Savage Hartford. It's the Philly episode. The guests that we have today are mind-boggling to me. We have the Philly Offensive social media personality, viral Instagram sensation, and Mr. Marc Brownstein, a.k.a. DJ Brownie. Best known as the bass player for the Disco Biscuits. The crowd goes wild.
Wearing one of my favorite hats right now, the red and white Boston hat.
How do you think Philly Offensive's going to feel about that?
Fire, right?
The corduroy Steely from TGR. There it is.
That's it. I don't even want that to get raindrops on it.
It's the hottest hat.
How's Philly Offensive going to find out? I mean, he'll probably react to the Boston hat better than when I tell him I'm a Giants fan.
What's going on in sports these days? I don't pay any attention to anything. Give us a little sporting minute.
UConn men's basketball. The UConn women are number one. The Patriots look hot. Look like they're about to fucking go back to the Super Bowl. I don't think they'll win the Super Bowl, but I think they're definitely going to go back to the Super Bowl this year. And I'm all about the UConn Husky basketball. You know I'm the biggest UConn fan around. You know that.
I do. I heard they have a seat named after you. Gamble Pavilion still, or is it the Civic Center solely? Is it both?
Oh, it's not the Gamble. Oh, the Gamble, yes. It's not the Civic Center anymore, though. It went from the Civic Center to the XL Center. Now it's the People's Bank Arena. But catch this, right? I ain't seen I don't even know to direct you to People's Bank. People's Bank used to be in all the Stop and Shops, which is our main grocery store, but not anymore. So kind of a People's Bank Arena, no fucking People's Bank. So Hartford's been confusing since they sold the Whalers. Let's keep it a buck.
Yeah.
You were still living in the area in 95.
But let's play a little Manchester, Connecticut, hot or not. For those of you who don't know, Mega Savage Hartford and I are both from Manchester, Connecticut. Give us your take on Shady Glen.
Oh, man, banging. Shady Glen?
Yeah.
That's hot.
You like it? It's still hot.
Yeah, old school 50s diner type atmosphere, you know. They have the special made patent cheese that comes out. And fried cheese.
You like the fried cheese?
I do. I get my Shady Glen burger. I'll tell you how I would get it for a while. And it's well done. The fried cheese, onions, bacon, pickles, mustard, ketchup.
Well, I think Shady Glen is not hot.
You don't?
No.
Like to hear this one.
I think that it's overrated. And I can't tell whether I just enjoyed going there when I was absolutely stoned out of my mind in high school, or whether the product changed or the quality changed. But I just feel that I'm constantly disappointed lately. But every time I go back, I give them another chance. So I'm optimistic that they're not going to do me dirty next time. But
well, I deal with one person in there.
Yeah.
You know, I think the best waitress in there, her name's Megan. You might remember her from back in the day. It was Megan. Well, I can't remember her last name right now. But anyways, Megan, she grew up in Bolton, and she's friends with McAlpine and that whole crew and in Bolton. So she's worked there forever. And she just goes over and beyond. She is just like the best waitress, on top of stuff. Food comes out quick, milkshakes, whatever. I tend to see where you're coming from because I tend to get these other people, and it's just not the same experience. I've actually walked out before. Like, one thing about me is like I own a restaurant, as you know, right? So if somebody comes in, hi, how you doing? Hello. I got to sit there for 5 minutes and not be greeted. You know, I put the bad taste in my mouth. But as far as Shady Glen is legendary. You can't take that from them. And it's genius, cash only. I mean, and they own their ATM. I mean, everything about these guys are genius. In what?
Are they still cash only with the ATM in the back?
Oh, yeah, cash only.
Is that payphone still back there?
I don't think so.
So we know who has the best buffalo wings in town. That's Ryan Sports Bar and Grill, right?
Yeah.
So who's got the best pizza in town these days?
I like CJ's.
I don't give a fuck where you get your pizza from. But when I'm back in my hometown of Manchester, Connecticut, there's just one clear choice. CJ's Pizza and Giant Grinders. Get down here and buy some shit. Delicious.
Don't be a pussy.
Do you?
I like CJ's. Yeah, CJ's been Manchester. CJ's pretty fire.
Every
I
time.
had a good pizza at Olympic Pizza in South Glastonbury the other day.
That's a good one.
Pepe's is pretty good. I get them once in a while. All the ones you like. I used to eat Filipinos a lot, but I don't.
Is that Frank Pepe's or Pepe's on
Pepe's on what? West Middle?
yeah.
They got Frank Pepe's too up near the Buckle Mall, but it's not bad.
No. You like that Greek pizza? You like that Greek pizza?
I like square pizza.
Yeah.
I do. Some people like New York style. I like the square. I don't know. I like both. I love pizza.
Every time I go home, I go to CJ's.
Yeah.
And I get a full-size grinder, half meatball, half sausage. I get a salad. I sit in a booth in there. And I love the way CJ's smells. I can smell it right now. When you
Me
start
too.
talking about it, I can smell it.
Yeah. Me too.
And then I get a pizza and I eat a few slices of it, a few pieces of it. And I take the rest home. And I love those guys. I met your buddy, one of the owners there, one of the brothers, I believe, at your place. Great guys.
Oh yeah, Matt.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Oh, my colon. Yeah, good guy. He comes out. Work. But they had a voting. You know, everybody knows that Sally's in New Haven is the best pizza on the planet.
Do you think so? Do you think that's true?
100%, man.
Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. Dave Portnoy has brought a tremendous amount of attention to those that New Haven style pizza. I actually make a New Haven style pizza. Okay, it's outstanding. This is not arrogance. I've made about 650 pizzas since Christmas Eve, December 2022. 650 pizzas. I make a New Haven style pizza. It's a 5-ingredient dough. I let it sit for 2 or 3 days in the refrigerator. I mill my own San Marzano tomatoes sauce, and I have a real nice cheese mix I use. Very excellent cheeses. I make a New Haven style pizza. And I am pretty convinced that
I have to let you know. The only thing that I can let you know how good it is me eating it.
I think I could pull an 8.2 or an 8.3 from him on a New Haven style pizza.
He was in the Manchester area a couple months ago. Heavy. Although he didn't go to Manchester, but he was in South Windsor, Oakland Pizza. I forgot what he got. Oakland Pizza's pretty damn good. Have you ever had Oakland Pizza, Oakland Street in South Windsor?
I don't think so.
Yep. He pulled up over there and gave him a good rating. Can't remember off the top of my head what it was.
Well, here's what I think we should do. I think next time I'm in town, we should photograph some food at Ryan's and make a couple pizzas, and you can tell me what you think.
Dude, you know who was shitting on Connecticut pizza the other day? I gotta bring this up. Coach of UConn women's basketball. Oh, Geno put a press conf. I don't know if you saw the press game conference the other day after his game. Instead of talking basketball, he gets to the podium and he says Connecticut has shit pizza.
He just poured some red stuff on the box and called it pizza.
Pizza's cold in a box. Geno goes on this rant. Now you can find this if you probably search this anywhere on Facebook. He goes on a rant over pizza, talking about he's from Italy, which he was born in Italy. And then he says he's from Philly. But, he lived in Manchester the last 40 years, dog. And I think I'm standing by Sally's is number one at the moment. I mean, you're only going to find it Northeast, Mike. You know that. You're not going to find better pizza in this area of the world for some odd reason. So Geno really looked crazy saying that. Like, Geno, really?
I have a question for you.
Yes.
You're a powerful guy. Are you familiar with the laws of power?
48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that book.
One of those is never signaling your intentions, right?
Okay.
Geno's a powerful guy, right?
Very. I would think.
Do you think that he might be throwing out the laws of power and signaling his intentions to bring pizza to the market? Do you think he's trying to rile himself up to bring pizza to the market? Because if it's really that bad, he seems like a guy that could solve the problem. What do you say to that?
Good basketball coach. Good basketball coach. There's another thing I want to let you know. All of a sudden, about a mile up the road, the old Cabbies, remember Cabbies? Well, this guy all of a sudden decided to come out with a radio show in the basement of Cabbies. Huh. Is he watching us?
Maybe. So we might have to talk to Geno. And I think that I question his motivation to make such a statement and diss Connecticut pizza in that way.
As the Connecticut guy he is.
Hater.
Like like I said, he can play. He can coach basketball, man.
So, are you not a fan of his cuisine?
I mean, I don't want to say the name. Have you been to his restaurant? The Old Cabbies? I won't say the name of his restaurant.
Here's all I can say about that. Cavies was very special. It was especially special when Jesse Powers was working there and Jess Cote. I have never experienced that level of service as when those two and that level of quality. One other meal that I had that reached that level of quality was also prepared by Chef Jesse Powers, well recognized in the state and beyond. He prepared for me a meal at the Copper Beach Inn, I believe. It was guinea hen with foie gras and raw quail egg. Now,
Really?
I was dope sick out of my mind, and Jess Cote was like drinking white wine. So I was dope sick hanging over a 5-course like French meal, and Jess Cote was enjoying her white wine. And I would like to go back and ask Chef Jesse Powers to recreate this meal because I didn't get much out of it.
Okay, so Chef Jesse Powers, very good friend of mine, absolute good friend of mine. Boy, I got stories with that guy. Let me tell you something. He's seen shit happen to me that fuck he can't make up. So my dad cutting off the house arrest bracelet and shit. He said, "Listen, Chef Powers in here all the time and rides. He supports when he can." Jess Cote, it's funny. I just talked to her last week. I'm actually, you know what? I'm going up to because she owns it. I'll say her business on this because I love Jess Cote. Birch Hill Tavern, South Glastonbury. She owns that. Amazing. Okay. I'm going there after this, after we're done here. Matter of fact, I'm going to go there right after this to show Jess some love. Because you know what? She had some DoorDash from the other night, so she said it was unbelievable.
The last time I was home, I walked around the restaurant eating raw steak. It was wonderful.
Steak tartare.
Delicious.
Yeah, so you can get that up there at Birch Hill Tavern because they know what they're doing. I'd go up there and eat raw seafood up there. I'd like to get Jesse on here somehow. Really?
We should. We should. I'm going to go get some mustard. Philly Offensive is coming in.
Oh, shit. There he is. Yeah, there's the man with the legend right there.
Hey, what's going on?
What up, bro?
On the podcast today, none other than Philly Offensive, the viral Instagram sensation. I know you've seen his bits. I know you've seen the one with the mask. I know you've seen the one peeing on the storage container. Philly Offensive, welcome to the podcast.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's mentioned the cemetery. What a women? That was the one that had me fucking on the ground, almost crashed the car into a ditch, bro.
Oh, to whip it?
Oh, dude, we're near the graveyard. What are you doing here? Here to see my. Oh my god, dude.
That was
Circle, legendary.
That was one of my first big videos.
Yo! What's up, dude?
What the fuck are you doing here?
What's up, man?
What the fuck are you doing here?
Oh, man, I'm just getting drunk, man, doing some whippets. What's going on, man?
I'm visiting my sister.
Where? What, she dead?
Of course she's dead.
Hey, listen. Give me $5. I'll get you some brand new flowers.
No, man, I got
some
that.
bitch just dropped them off, dude. I'll give him $5. Give me...
I'm good.
All right, whatever, man. Yo, I've been doing fucking whippings all day, dude. Oh, but the Wawa at Tyson, and Castor, they're so fucking sweet, dude. You can go in there and still whippets all fucking day.
How is that? Oh, you all right?
That was awesome. Hey, you want to buy any stamps?
Nah, I'm good.
Come on, man. I got $100, dude. Just give me $50.
And a ride down the way?
No. The dealers are around the corner. I fucking love whippets, dude. Here, you want some?
No, I'm good, dude.
You got a cigarette?
Nah,
Why not?
because I vape.
Vaping's for homos. You gotta get a good hit. Hey, can you give me a ride?
Where you gotta go?
The hospital. I fell like 15 times today, dude. I'm gonna go and see if I can get some perks. I'll give you a couple.
All right, get in.
All right.
Bro, it's great. That's the first one I caught. Fan ever since.
Nice.
For anyone who's been living under a rock,
Yeah, all right.
please tell us about yourself. Do you prefer Tim? Can I call you Philly Offensive? I feel that's good for the brand.
That's fine.
Philly Offensive. Tell us about yourself. For anyone that's not familiar with your content, we love it. What's been going on with Philly Offensive?
So I started Philly Offensive like 12 years now. And I mean I've done stand up, you know what I mean, messed around but I always, I went to school for video. Like that video about the in the cemetery, you know what I mean? Like I was a drug addict. I have a lot of information about what drug addicts do.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So the whole thing about whippets, like that was all true. You know what I mean? Like I would steal hundreds of Red Bull and countless bottles of whipped cream and drive around and crash cars. That was my thing. Like,
Are you clean now?
I am 4 years in on the 22nd. No alcohol, but I fucked up over the summer. I fucked up.
Okay, so you have been clean for 4 years with some maybe little bumps in the road. And I also saw that you have documented a fitness journey, a weight loss journey.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you've really been focused on self-improvement. What inspired your journey towards self-improvement, Philly Offensive?
So I've been going up and down with my weight my entire life, and I was close to 400 pounds when I got sober this time, and I guess it was like 3 years ago. I'm like, damn. The addiction isn't going to kill me now. It's the food, which is also an addiction, and anything I do in life, I would always do 110%, but the drink always messed it up. So this time I was clear mind, and I work out like a drug addict, nonstop all the time. You know what I mean? And I love it.
Good.
I dropped 140 pounds.
Right on.
And yeah, man, it's just a part of my life.
So your primary issue was with alcohol. Tell us what would happen. Did you like to smoke a little crack? Maybe we can talk about crack. Crack's actually a hot one. Did you like to smoke a little crack?
So I was a junk box. I did everything, but I am lucky. I tried crack a couple times, especially after I seen The Wolf on Wall Street. They made it look so good, and I was like, all right. I've seen so many people, I mean, not just friends and family or people I know that have lost their life or, what I mean, everything due to crack. And here I am trying to smoke it. Anyway, it never took. I never got that I love crack moment. You know what I mean? I got it with everyone, not heroin too. I never, I am a drug addict through and through. Why I didn't get hooked on the most addictive drugs in the world, I guess I'm just lucky. I don't know.
Are you constantly thinking about material, or take us through your creative process that's produced some of these amazing viral bits that we've all seen?
So it's constant. I am constantly thinking of comedy. I'll dream about it. It's my life. And as far as the ideas are never ending, because it's just shit that bothers me. Like someone who doesn't clean up after their dog. I had a viral video about threatening some woman, saying, pick it the fuck up or I'm going to knock your junkie boyfriend out. And that's where my acting takes off. You know what I mean? Like, that's just one example. The other one, like small, silly stuff that, like someone that grabs rolls without using the wax paper. You know what I mean? I made a video on that. And my most recent video, I've never seen a video grow like that, is where it looks like I'm stealing a bike.
What's up, buddy? What's up? Is this your bike?
Yeah, lost the key.
Oh, well, you got the, you're using the wrong tool there.
Huh?
You're using the wrong tool. You need a Milwaukee grinder with a metal blade.
All right, thanks.
You know what? I don't think this is your bike.
Dude, what the fuck is your problem, dude?
Yeah,
it is my fucking bike.
Listen, you got two choices. You can leave or you can enter a world of pain.
You want to get fucked up? Get the fuck away. Why are you filming me, too? You want to get fucked up? Oh, you're fucking dead. Oh!
I told you.
I got the Cookie Monster pajamas on, and
The pants sold the bit. I was like, look at this fucking guy.
yeah, it's all fun for me. You know what I mean?
Great. I want to talk to you again soon.
Anytime. All right.
All right, man. Keep your head up. Be safe out there.
Thanks, guys.
Cool, man.
On the podcast today, on the Philly episode, none other than Mr. Marc Brownstein, DJ Brownie, IDGAFFOODS Podcast, co-hosted by Mega Savage Hartford, welcoming a guest that got me so hyped I could not sleep last night. I was listening to 42 over and over and over and over and over again, and that bass.
That's addict behavior.
That bass, I am an addict. And that bass is so hard. And I realized something, Brownie, and then we want to hear from you. But I got to tell you this, man. I realized some shit last night, dude.
Tell me.
Shit. And I've been with you guys since the year 2000. Yep. The shit I realized last night is there is nothing that gets me more in music than when I can feel that fucking bass inside of my body.
Hell yeah.
And that bass is coming from Brownie. That bass is coming from the bass player. And Brownie, I have to ask you, how does it feel? Because I could feel it inside of me. Fucking, how does it feel to just get inside of so many people like that, Brownie? Just fucking in it.
You got to understand, for me, I'm standing on this sub pad that's like a board that's like 4x6. And I stand on this thing and it just pushes subs up through my body, right? So I don't have like a sub speaker on. I don't have any speakers on stage anymore. I run everything into my ears, but you need that bass, right? You need to feel that bass. So I just put this thing under me that I actually learned about from Mike Gordon, from Fish was using it. Fish started using it when they started playing the Sphere, because there's no speakers on stage at the Sphere. It's all coming out of LEDs, right? Those are all speakers as well. So the dude who does Jim Bergantino, who does both my bass amp and Mike's bass amp, I was trying to ask him, like, how can I control the sub in a way that doesn't blow everybody else out on stage so they can't hear anything else? And he told me about this pad that Mike has been standing on. I ordered one up. They come from London, and it drives bass into your bones. I wish the whole entire crowd could stand on this while I was playing. It shakes you. So yeah, I mean, I know what it's like up there. I got it going on for me up there, and I can't perform unless the bass is shaking me, right? Bass is less about the note that you're playing, and it's more about the rattle in your body. It's more about shaking that body, feeling the bass, right? You have to feel the bass more than you need to hear the bass, right? It's an instrument that a lot of people, when they're like younger, I think it took me until I was like 13, 14 to really even know which instrument the bass was in the music. You know, I was so tuned into the higher end instruments, like the higher pitched instruments. So, you know, for me, as I got more in tune with the bass, I started to realize it's more about feel. Yeah, it feels good. It feels good to feel the bass, and it feels good to know that people are feeling it, you know? So sometimes, like, you go to big rock concerts, it's almost hard to, sometimes I'll go see Fish, my favorite band. It's hard to hear the bass in the arena. Like, you know, I'll see the fingers moving. I'm like, what, you know, where is the sound, you know? But as long as you can feel it, right? That's the most important part, is feeling the bass.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah, Brownie.
You know, Victor Wooten said that, you know, like with bass, it's like, it doesn't matter like what notes you're playing as much, just as long as it's in groove. It matters more where you put the notes than what note you hit. You know, like you can hit any note. Most people can't hear a wrong note on bass. You know, it's like most people can't hear the difference between like a low E and an F, a half step off. You know, it's subtle. So I could be a half step off all the time, as long as I'm hitting it in the right spot. I don't say all the time. I played one song once with Humphreys McGee where the whole bass was out of tune, and I couldn't get it into control. Like the dude who it was, I had a a stand-in bass tech that day, and it was super sunny out, and when he tuned the bass, he just missed the dot. There's a dot on the bass tuner that lets you know if you're sharp or flat. Like, so it'll be like G, and then there's this tiny little dot, and you're supposed to see this thing in the sun. And I went up with 5 strings all out of tune in different directions by a half a step. And so, that one did matter. That sounded like garbage.
Fuck yeah.
Brownie, how about this? We're going to do something. I think you just developed the slogan of the century for the bass playing community globally.
Yeah.
It feels good to feel the bass.
Yeah.
It just feels
That's
good
it.
to feel
That's
the
the new
bass.
slogan. Feels good to feel the bass.
So, Mega Savage Hartford,
Hey.
he said he had so much fun at Camp Bisco one year that you guys should all have been in federal prison after that. You have any comments on that, Brownie?
I bet you some people did go to federal prison after being a
Yeah,
kid, to be honest.
Yo, listen, man. Camp Bisco's the shit. Why don't we do another one of those?
Yeah,
I
that's what I was saying this morning.
I used to go to Camp Bisco, and I used to go to Peach Fest after, bro. Camp Bisco would still kind of be there. They ain't making home yet.
Yeah,
played
that's
it.
right. That's right.
Camp Bisco's with tents flying around like a fucking tornado. Shit. You guys still come around to Hartford, Connecticut a lot. They're down there at Infinity Center or Infinity Hall there. I still catch
Yeah.
you, dude.
Yeah, we'll do Infinity. I really like playing in New Haven. They're so close to each other, but for some reason, 3 times as many people come in New Haven as come to Hartford.
Wild, right? College Street, pretty good.
I don't
Westville.
understand. But you know what it is? I think a lot of the times we put Hartford like on a Tuesday.
Yeah, man.
It's such a small room to begin with, right? So we'll be like, let's just throw this tiny room on the Tuesday, Wednesday. But you're really asking a lot of people to come out on a Tuesday, Wednesday to Hartford.
Tiny room Disco Biscuit show, dog. I'm fucking there on a Tuesday,
Yes.
on a Sunday, on a Monday. I don't give I'm a big small room type of guy. Like I'm a small room string cheese fan. I'm a fish fan also. I'm a small room Portland fish fan. That was one of the greatest shows I saw at that little auditorium. You guys always bring us.
I love fishing in auditorium. You don't get to see that too often.
Man, I remember I went to Portland. It was only like 7,000 venue and like 30,000 people showed up. Like I've never seen a mass hysterical for people asking if they want a ticket so bad. Like I had my ticket, but it was damn.
Yeah, when I started seeing fish, they were kind of in that 2,000 person range, but we went down to New Orleans to see them, and it was like, I think it was like 800 to 1,000 people. McAllister Auditorium in New Orleans at Tulane University. The Biscuits played there eventually. We eventually played at that auditorium, but man, walking in and during Forbin's Mockingbird in this, like, the end of the venue was like, we were in the back of the venue. It was like 20 rows, So sick.
Sick. I saw you guys at one of my favorite disco shows over at the Brooklyn Mirage there a couple years ago.
Hell yeah.
Shit was wild, man. That was
they put a lot of money into the Brooklyn Mirage, and then something happened with the permits, and it's
I
gone.
heard somebody took it back over. I just read the other day. Somebody just cost them a shit ton of money. That place is cool as hell. I saw the Disco Biscuits there. The shit was wild as shit. Me and Wally were fucking mob down there in the Range Rover, dude.
Let's hear about the DJ Brownie project.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I've been doing it for 11 years. I started DJing 11 years ago, out of just sort of, I wanted to have a project that I could just rely on myself for. It would just be me. It would just be me, and it's like when every side project I do, to this day, it's so hard to just get one show booked. You know what I mean? I just want to book one night, and it's so hard to get 3 other people to all like convene and be able to figure out what night they're available. It doesn't matter which project it is. It's all the projects are like that, right? And so I got to the point where I was putting more work into trying to organize what day we could play on than we were putting into the music. And for me, that's when your project's upside down, when it takes more work to organize than it does to play. I started DJing. It took me a really long time to like kind of figure out what the hell I was doing. DJing is not easy. It looks easy. When you know how to DJ, it looks like the easiest thing of all time. You know what I mean? Like I taught my daughter how to DJ a couple weeks ago. We sat for a couple hours, and I was able to get her along on the basics. Nobody ever did that for me. It took me 3 years to get as far as my daughter got in 2 hours with somebody like teaching her what to do. But for me, it was all trial and error. And it was just kind of like a passion thing. And little by little, I'm starting to get more serious about it. But it's hard. DJing is funny because, like, you know, sometimes I'll go out and it'll be like gigantic show, greatest night of my life. Other times it's like, you know, I got a show coming up in Columbus in a week and a half, and I'm struggling to figure out how to get people in Columbus to come out to see my show. Yeah, so I'm playing on January 31st. I'm doing a 3-night run. Harrisburg on the 29th, Pittsburgh it's at Abbey Live, and then the 30th at Thunderbird Music Hall in Pittsburgh, and then Summit Music Hall in Columbus. And, you know, I know, like, if it's the Disco Biscuits, it's no issue. You come out, you play Columbus, people show up. But DJ Brownie is funny like that. I'm trying to get out there and start to put this out on like a bigger scale. So if you're out there in Columbus and you happen to be living to IDGAF right now, podcast, spread the word. Next Saturday night, I'm coming out there, and we need to get I need to rally some people up for these shows. Harrisburg, Pittsburgh, and Columbus. DJ Brownie right now is about to start putting out DJ Brownie music. I stand behind it, though. I'm standing on my music.
DJ Brownie.
I love the music I'm producing right now. I love it. I make it for myself. You know what? I don't even care. I'm going to release it. And if it doesn't go anywhere, I don't care like what happens with it, because I made it for me. I listened to it. I got on the plane yesterday and I spun my 5 tracks, and then I spun them again, like you with 42. And then I spun them again, because I just love listening to this shit. You know, I'm working on a remix for Orc Theme right now. Like, I took the Conspirator track from off of YouTube. I don't even know. I have CDs of Conspirator, but we never released it on Spotify or Apple Music or anything. So I went on YouTube and ripped some other dude, put the Conspirator Key album up there, like ever many years ago, and I ripped it using Audacity, this program that you could rip stuff off of YouTube, and then I used some AI to separate the tracks out so I could take the drums off of it. And then I redid the drums, and now I'm taking like vocals samples. I use Splice. I need to say something. Splice. Do you know what Splice is?
Yes.
Splice is this thing that John from the Biscuits invented. It's actually one of the most comprehensive DJ or producer software programs in the whole world. It's a sample bank, and they have hundreds of thousands, millions of samples. You want a kick drum sound? Like, you used to have to search through all different samples from all different places to find a good kick drum, and buy packs here, buy packs there, buy packs there. Splice is a subscription service, so I could go on there and put in, you know, Tech House kick drum. And what are you gonna do with that mustard? It's happening.
Yeah, dude. You know, he's just mustard.
I love this fucking guy. So, what's in that thing?
Brownie, I have a Splice subscription.
People like kind of look down on Splice producers because it's almost too easy to make great music using Splice, that it's taken the part out for people where they need to learn how to make music. They need to learn how to synthesize sounds. I learned how to synthesize sounds 20 years ago. Like, you know, I worked on Logic. I know how to use soft synths. I know how to make a good sound in Massive. I know how to make a good sound in Serum. But I want to take back the narrative on Splice. Splice is fucking awesome. I think that people should be able to say, I used Splice as a tool to help me get this track done in a more reasonable amount of time than it might take if I had to sit and sift through 5,000 different kick drums from different packs that I bought. Splice is awesome as a tool. I agree, for like, if you don't know how to make music, if you don't know music at all, and you're just going on and slapping samples together, you may get lucky. You still need to have a good ear. Like, you need to have a good ear. Like, it's all about your ear, right? Making music. So even that guy who took all the Splice samples and threw them together, if it came out sounding sick, it's because that dude had a good ear and was able to make different samples work together. But Pretty Lights is a sample producer. He made all of his shit off of live samples earlier, like, you know, from records. He was taking it off of records. So it's a little more detailed than using Splice. But man, I use Splice when I produce, and I'm like not ashamed that I do. I'm going to talk about it because I think as a tool, just like with AI, like AI with music, people are afraid of AI with music because it might, you know, make the producer obsolete. Well, that's not going to happen, man. You know what I mean? It's like, you're not like, people aren't going to ultimately want to listen to just something that a computer made when that computer is just taking shit that people made originally and like spitting it out. Like, the human brain is a magnificent place. It's a wondrous, like, expansive place that, where the creativity never ends. And we see that in the content that's out there. So anyway, I'm making music. I use like, for Orc Theme, I took these vocal samples to bring it all the way back around. I took these vocal sample off of Splice and I pitched them and I started chopping them up and I just threw them in over the Orc Theme. I was just working on it right now, right up until 2:29 p.m. when I hop on here with you. I'm like fucking around with this Orc Theme remix. I want to spend my time making music. Right. So I just need to like find somebody. I do have record companies, obviously, I'm talking to, but you know what I think it is? It's a big step to say, hey, here's my music. This is only mine. I don't know what it is that prevents somebody from, I guess, it's like I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous to put this out and have other people say whatever they want to say about it, because like I hear it, it sounds good to me.
Listen,
well,
all that inside, taking from somebody, I'm an entrepreneur, all that shit. So everything I've ever done in my like my journey has always been negative. Always. It's always negative thought, and then I get over it. I'm like, holy shit! And you're gonna bump your shit. Everyone's be going crazy. I'm like, oh, just in my head. I guarantee
in your head, dude. I just need to put it up, right?
So you're a master of music. You're hearing it. You think it sounds fire? That shit's fire. I guarantee.
It's fire. I know that it's fire. The thing for me is I just want to make sure it's released properly. I don't want it to just go. There's just so much noise, so much music coming out. I just want to make sure what do you put water in that mustard thing? What's going on back there?
Ice.
Brownie, I'm going to jump into this conversation.
Get in with me.
I'm going to say some stuff.
Good.
I'm going to go into the heart and we're going to get sensitive. Before we were being controversial. Now I'm going to be sensitive.
Yeah.
Brownie, I am so honored to have you on here. And Mega Savage, there is no other co-host for the IDGAFFOODS Podcast than Mega Savage Hartford. And we're going to have a little moment here because we're talking about art. And I'm an artist. I didn't feel like an artist until 2019. Even though I'd already had some accomplishments. And there was one moment when I got over my imposter syndrome. And I'm not saying that's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying I had imposter syndrome. That's what it is.
I had imposter syndrome until one thing happened. Jimmy Fallon held up my artwork for 2 Grammy Award winners, I believe. Alessia Cara, International Pop Star, and Juanes, International Pop Star. And that wasn't what made me feel whole. It was that my grandmother got to see Jimmy Fallon holding up my artwork that I made for these people, and my grandmother loved Jimmy Fallon. And it was at that moment, because my grandmother got to see that I accepted that I am an artist, and I am going to take my artwork and I'm going to apply the Michael Jordan mantra of I just kept taking shots. And I love, Brownie, how you said you stand behind it, you listen to it, and you put it out there, because I do the same shit, man. And some of the shit that I do hits, and some of it goes crazy. But I stand behind all of it because I am an artist. And
I need to cut you off for a second and just to say something to the people who are listening, which you may not know, because you have Mike bringing me on his podcast here. Who said he's been a fan of my band for 25 years. And what people may not know, although I have said it publicly before, is that before I knew Mike was a fan of my art, I was a fan of his art, a big fan of it. And to me, the Real Theory is something incredible and special. And like the whole presentation of your art and your platform that you built, to Art Grab, to put out art and let people find people's art. Everything that you did before IDGAF, it connected with me on such a deep level. I mean, this is how I found Post Wook. I found Post Wook through you, Natasha. I found so many different artists on Art Grab. To me, I think it's important that everybody know right here that there was a moment that that we both found out that we were fans of each other. it happened at the same time. It's like I saw you make a post on Instagram and it said, I made this artwork while listening to the Disco Biscuits, and I was blown away. I was like, no fucking way. I don't believe Real Theory's listening to the Biscuits. And then I like hit you up, and that's when we found out we were fans of each other. You know what? That doesn't happen that often, where it's like where two people are fans of each other and they don't know it, and then they find out together at the same time. So that's just a little disclaimer here. I want everybody to know that as you talk about this. Before you accepted that you were an artist, I accepted that you were an artist, and vice versa. It's like, I'm a producer, but you're right. It's like, I want to go. I tell my agent, I don't want to play with jam bands and at jam band festivals for this project. I want to go out and play with Walker and Royce, and I want to go out. I want to go out and play with. I want to play with Claude Von Stroke. Come on, Claude. You know what I mean? Bring me out there. Like I want to do it. Barclay is his name, but like I want to be on Dirty Bird Records. Like I want to release I am going to release a track on Dirty Bird Records. You know what I mean? That's how you have to do it. You have to believe that it's possible. You have to say that it's going to happen. It's not just that. Then you need to go out there and be like, hey, somebody hook me up with Barclay. I know he knows who we are. I've talked to him before, but like, somebody hook me up with Barclay. I want to send them some tracks. Hey man, I got imposter syndrome, but here's my tracks. Hook me up. Release my shit. Camp Bisco, the Disco Biscuits. Now know DJ Brownie. Let's put the shit out. So, but like I was nervous. I was at Halloween and I was playing on a stage right before Walker and Royce. And I play Walker and Royce in my set. Almost every set of music I play at least one or two Walker and Royce songs. My absolute favorite tech house artist. I love them so much. And then I'm standing backstage, and dude walks over to me, random dude, and he's like, yo, Brownie, da-da-da-da, I'm Walker and Royce's like tour manager. I got to introduce you to them. Big Biscuits fan. Now I find out Walker and Royce's tour manager, Big Biscuits fan, used to be with us all the time. Then I go over and he introduces me to these two dudes, and they were like, oh my God, it's such a pleasure to meet you. Camp Bisco, da-da-da-da-da. They know me. It's like, I'm a huge fan of these dudes. And the same thing happened with Nightmare. I was at Electric Forest and somebody's like, yo, I want to introduce you to Nightmare. Nightmare's a dubstep DJ. And he came out and he was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm meeting you right now. Legendary, you're a legend. And I was like, I'm a legend, bro. And then he told me the story, like 2011. I just like went to my first festival ever. It was Camp Bisco. Like that's where the flip switched. And then from there, I like started making some music. Then a couple of years later, I was playing at Camp Bisco. Now it's like, so listen, when you were a curator for 18 to 20 years of an electronic music and an electronic music festival, these dudes all know me. So I need to get over the imposter syndrome, and I will. I'm over here with you right now telling you about my new tracks. They're going out.
Connecticut, I got a room 200 people at my live venue. I know you're used to thousands.
No, what live venue?
Ryan Sports Bar and Grill. I have a live music venue myself that I own.
Okay, and that's where in Hartford?
It's outside of Hartford and Manchester. It's like a 200-person capacity, but we would rock the shit out of this.
Bring me up. That's what I want. I want to play 200 capacity venues. That's what I want.
Let's do it.
If you could put 85 to 100 people in a 200 capacity venue and get them going.
If I put you here because you listen, in this area right here is crazy Disco Biscuit fans. Like, fucking ridiculous. I put that out. This place is going to be, we're going to be way over capacity. I can already see it. But I'm down for it.
That's what I want.
I'm down for it, bro.
I did that cover for Nightmare.
Oh, shit, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
I did one of his music videos.
Oh, no way. That's fucking sick.
Dude. He's a great guy, man. He's Tyler, right? Tyler's his name?
Yeah, he's a great guy, man. And 2 summers ago, I asked him if he would do a remix for the Biscuits, and he said, yeah, but like it's been like a year and a half. I'm still waiting for the stems. We're like working on a new album, and I need to get the stems out to him.
2 things, Brownie. Yeah. We're going to get you rockin' Ryan's.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to be rocking Ryan's. We're going to make that happen. We're going to link that. The other thing is, Brownie, I'm going to hit up Nightmare. I'm just going to take a shot at it. The Michael Jordan shot, just keep taking the shots, and then I'm going to stand behind the art. And the art in this case is me being like, Nightmare, I can't wait for that Biscuits remix.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, dude, I heard that shit is in the pipe, baby. And it's going to boom.
He's going to be like, I'm waiting for a long fucking time for those steps, but they're coming. Like, they're coming. We just needed to get our shit together a little bit. We got our shit together now.
Dude, I can't. We're gonna make all this happen. All this.
Yeah.
Dude, I have to tell you something, Brownie. I have to tell you this, and I don't know if I've told you this before. You know the story of how I met John outside of the theater in Northampton. I told you that story.
Yeah.
And I met you at the Adirondack Fest in like 2004, maybe.
No way.
Ween was there. Ween was there.
Yeah.
It was fucking pouring. But I really wanted to link up with you guys, but I was doing bad shit, man. And I was like all about shit that was not that cool, but I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
So it is so cool for me that I got to link with you guys on like this chapter in my life, like this side of like doing the right thing, and being able to like feel the feeling I had last night when I was driving around bumping 42 and being like, how did I get here? How did I get so lucky to have one of my idols on my podcast who I grew up with? You guys did something to me that no other band did, and it happened in Worcester in 2000, right around the holidays. And I've said this to you before, but you guys just hit a part of my brain that rare. If I was introduced to other music, other musicians in this genre that hits this part of my brain, it was because of you. It's the Biscuits opened up this thing that tapped me and gave me an appreciation for this type of music, this scene. And I would follow around the other bands. I won't mention their names. And I wasn't always quite as enthusiastic. I'll just come out and say it about Fish as I was about the Disco Biscuits. I love Fish. I went to UVM. I love Fish.
You went to UVM?
Yeah, dude. It was wild.
I got 2 kids in UVM right now.
Yeah, dude. I actually had a log cabin out in Ferrisburg that we used to live there and fucking run weed and ketamine into fucking town. And we had nitrous parties fucking there all the time. It was fucking nar, dude. And that didn't last long though, because we all fucking burnt out. We all fucking got too fucked up too fast. But the Biscuits hit something that no one else has been able to hit, and it still hits. And I wondered, will I still like this music when I am off the drugs?
Tell me.
Will I still like it? And so a lot of that music that I listened to when I was on the drugs, I can't fucking listen to it anymore because it doesn't do anything for me. It just doesn't hit. But the Biscuits still hit after all these years. And on this side of my life, it's so cool to be able to connect with you. It's like fucking awesome, man. It's an honor. It's a tremendous
Biscuits
honor.
are the drug, man. The music is the drug, but especially the Biscuits. I know that it is that way. And I've spoken, listen, we have a lot of sober fans, right? Which means that we had a lot of fans that needed to get sober. And, it's been 30 years in the band. And so every year, more and more people do get sober. And that number just keeps going up of sober fans. And it's like, every now and then you'll be like surfing on the internet and somebody say something about a Biscuits and you'll see like some comment about, yeah, if you're on the mall, then the Biscuits are good or whatever. But like, I know the truth. The truth is that the music is the drug. You don't need to be high. In fact, it's better if you're not high because you remember it. Like everybody always says that. It's like, it's better when you're not high because you're present in it. Like it's why. I don't understand. I know like a lot of people take ketamine at these concerts, but I don't understand why people would do dissociative drugs at a time where you're at an event that you're at in order to connect with something. Why would you want to dissociate while you're connecting? Now, people tell me that doing ketamine is really fun at a concert, but I've never done that before, but people tell me that it's fun, but I don't believe them. You know what I mean? I think it's probably more fun to just not be on ketamine and just be like really immersed in the shit. I don't know. I have friends that do ketamine at the shows.
Music's fire. Smoke my weed, bro. Chilling, dancing. What?
Smoke a little weed. I didn't know we were smoking weed on this podcast. I would have.
You can smoke weed. Mega Savage, HARTFORD.
I would have brought my Puffco Peak in here with me, but it's in the other room.
This is 100%. I just got to get it out. This is 100% mustard. And I ran out of coffee, and mustard actually it wakes me up and makes me feel like,
Good.
So
That's
I'm going to
fucking-
take a hit too, if you don't mind.
Oh, you take it of mustard. Should
Uh,
I
you
go,
want-
should I go run and get my Puffco?
Go get your Puffco, dude.
No ketchup?
No, dude. Ketchup is it doesn't wake me up like mustard does. It's so sugary.
What, ketchup's too sugary? What are you talking about?
Ketchup doesn't wake me up like mustard does because it's so sugary.
That's right. Ketchup is filled with sugar and salt.
Now, I'm probably a fucking idiot because this is probably all sugar.
The mustard?
Yeah.
Look at it and tell me. I don't think there's any sugar in mustard, yellow mustard.
Yeah, dude, so I know the Disco Biscuits because of Mike here, because 25 years ago, when he was getting his whole Disco Biscuits Ray, like, I was hanging out at his grandma's house to chill with these dudes, and, you know, he wanted to start a Disco Biscuits band, you know? So that's what was going on, and then, he thought, somehow, I don't know how we thought about this, but I grew up in this, nice little spot, but we decided to have an outside concert with his band, and then someone did a show for 3 hours later. It was like fucking 600 people in my driveway. Remember that? You remember that?
Yeah, I was in Hartford
What
buying
a-
heroin. I was late.
what a
You were pissed at me too.
We had to fucking track his ass down the fucking hood, drag his ass back. Best show ever.
Wild. I was in Hartford buying
but
heroin. That's
He was nuts. He was
I
nuts.
mean, I
He made-
watch your videos and some of the things you say on your videos, I think to myself, man, I'm really glad this dude's alive right now.
Oh, jeez. True story.
You know?
True story. I remember I went to elementary school. I know those guys since elementary school, a couple years older than me, but same town. We grew up in the same town. Later in life connected, but, I was I smoked my weed. I didn't ever smoke crack or any of that crazy shit, but, doesn't matter what Mike did. I loved him, and I'm glad to see where he is now.
Glad he's here.
I'm glad
One
he's
of-
here. I'm fucking so blessed.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yep.
It really is an honor to be here with both of you. And I got a little flustered today because I had to set up all these pro cams and stuff. And I've got so much tech running in this room right now. It's ridiculous, but I'm starting to starting to get comfortable and feeling good off the mustard. And I
It
just
looks
took
good. You look good. You've got a Zach Galifianakis kind of thing going. I really like it. It's like pro. The seat, the chair is super pro. The whole the framing of the shot is super pro. Like it's. I don't feel very pro. I got a bed and I got Jerry and that's it. And Jerry's on the bed because I haven't even had time to hang him up on the wall at my apartment here. So it's kind of like
you
bachelor life.
celebrated Christmas this year.
Yeah, I celebrated Christmas this year. Yeah, my girlfriend was a Bible Institute girl, and as she's grown up, she's a jam band girl, Disco Biscuits, Fish, and Grateful Dead. I got into the Christmas spirit for once. I've always wanted to have, I grew up in a fairly Jewish family, not really extremely religious. As I got older, my mom got really religious for a period of 8 to 10 years. She got really religious and then less so. And my dad wasn't religious per se, but growing up as a Jewish kid in New York with just New York, there's so much Christmas spirit around Manhattan and the tree and all that stuff. I always kind of wanted to get involved with it, not from a religious angle. It doesn't feel like Christmas is very religious. It doesn't really feel like a religious holiday. I know what it's about, but it still doesn't feel religious. It feels just like a way to make sure that you're not getting seasonal depression. That's what it feels like to me. The whole fucking thing seems like, an invention that people made in order to keep, it's probably hundreds of years ago, people were like, man, it gets around this time of year and everybody starts feeling down and looking down. Like, what can we do? We need to spruce it up. And the elders got together and they were like, we need to spruce it up. Look how sad everybody is as it gets getting darker. How about trees covered with lights and gifts and parties and food? And look, I was an anthropology major. I fancy myself somewhat of an anthropologist, cultural and physical anthropologist. I studied more evolution but I do always, every time that I look at anything, I look at it like a holiday, for instance. I look at this stuff through the lens of, why does this exist? Does this really exist because this person who was born of God? Like, do you guys, I don't want to like offend religious people here, but like from an anthropological perspective, purely, does it seem like maybe Mary did have sex with somebody and didn't want to say anything about it, hence the child of God? I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to offend you. Or do we offend? We're here on IDGAFFOODS.
We're fucking going for it, Brownie. Let's fucking go.
You want to get controversial? It kind of feels like Mary had something going on the side and got pregnant and didn't want anybody to know about it, and then had this baby Jesus and was like, "There's no dad," you know, and then the whole world.
It's kind of fucked up. I never even looked at it that way.
Like, I'm just thinking from purely anthropologically, like we know.
I never like.
I'm an atheist.
Yeah.
So let me just put it there, like put it out there, maybe agnostic, but most likely I'm an atheist. Like I don't believe that. I'm an anthropologist. I don't believe in all of the stories. I believe that the stories are there for a reason, from myths, Greek mythology, all the way through the three major religions. All of the stories are made up in order to fulfill some sort of human need, or a need for a greater understanding of the world, right? And I believe that religion is important, and I believe that it's good for people. You know, it does. I think there are statistics about how people who are religious and like what the results in their lives end up being. At any rate, I don't know what those statistics are, but I do believe that these stories are all made up, and I believe they were made up for a reason. And so, like, what's up with Mary? But like this Jesus dude, he's like must have been a charismatic motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, look at this guy back here. Like, you know, this is my Jesus. My Jesus is Jerry.
Savage, what's your take on this?
I don't got to take on it. I believe in Jesus. I don't know. I used to go to church as a kid. When was the last time I believe? Tell you. Couldn't even tell you. But you know, I mean, I just live day for day. You know, I have hope in whatever comes after life comes after life. You know, I don't know. You got to read too much into that shit for me.
Brownie,
a whole lot of thinking you put into that one.
Neil deGrasse Tyson says that the afterlife is just a bunch of cells decomposing in the dirt. I tend to agree with that, but you know, I'm hopeful. Well, I'll tell you this, man. When my dad died, I knew something happened before I knew what happened. Like I felt it in my soul, whatever that was.
Soul. See that word soul?
He was in. Well, I believe that the soul.
See, what do you mean soul?
Let me tell you what I believe in. I believe in energy. When I was in ninth grade, I wrote an article, a paper in school, and it was my theory on religion. And what my theory was that we are all connected by energy. That here what I had learned was that energy can't be like go away, right? Like there's like kinetic energy, you know, and that all of the different kinds of energies turn from one into another as different like systems interact with each other, right? And so what I'm energy. Look at this. He's energy. You guys are filled with energy, right? So when you die, where does that energy all go? Well, I mean, one would say that it decomposes and is returned into the earth, and that and feeds, you know, into new plants that come out, and that, you know, energy is then transferred back into whatever way, like oxygen, CO2, and then it's all transferring. But so I believe that there's a plane of energy around all of us. Like we're all, and that when a life is born, that it takes that energy, and then when a life ends, it returns that energy. And you know, I had a friend, Mr. Miner. You know, do you know who that is? He does Mr. Miner's Fish Thoughts. He does like a fish blog.
Thank you, Mr. Miner.
He took like an ounce of mushrooms every night for 13 nights on Fish Tour. It's too many mushrooms. It's too many. But he said that in the middle of it, he transcended out of the physical plane and went into the energy matrix. And, you know, a part of me was just like, man, this guy took too many mushrooms. And a part of me was like, there is something out there that connects us all. So when my father passed away, I was getting a cheesesteak downtown at Pat's Cheesesteak. It was my senior year of college. I'd never been to Pat's Cheesesteaks once. The famous like Pat's and Geno's and down. This is the Philly episode.
Yeah.
Pat's Cheesesteaks right here where I live in the Italian market over here. We're sitting outside and I'm sitting there with my friend and I feel like my soul just got ripped out of me. That's literally the words I said. I started crying and he is like, what is going on? Like we just finished a concert. We had just finished like a biscuit show and we were out eating cheesesteaks and I'm like, feel sick. And he's like, what's up? And I'm like, dude, something is wrong. And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I mean. Something is wrong. I feel like my soul just got ripped out of me. And then I went home and I went to sleep, and an hour into sleep, the phone's ringing off the hook, ringing. I finally like shake myself out and I pick up the phone and it's my brother. And he says, hey, I got news for you. Died. And I was like, I mean, I get chills right now, just go recounting it because it was like, what the fuck? When? Just like an hour and a half ago, I just got the call. He had a heart attack down in Florida. Yeah, I'm in Philly. He's in Florida. So I fell down on the floor. My dad was 65, and I was in college and I lived with my dad alone in New York City. Like he was the parent that I lived with at the time. And he was the one who supported me. And I was just like, what the fuck am I going to do now? And then I went back to bed eventually. I woke up, turned on, I had like that chip that breaks the cable so you could just like watch the movie channels, and the usual suspects was on repeat, and I just watched it on repeat for hours and hours and hours. And then I got a phone call later in the day and it was my buddy and he's like, what's going on? And I told him what happened. I'm like, dude, my dad died. And he's like, what? And I was like, when? And I was like, last night at like 4:08 a.m. And he was like, holy shit. And I was like, what? And he's like, dude, 4:08 a.m. That's when we were at fucking Pat's Cheesesteaks eating a cheesesteak and you started crying and saying you felt like your soul got ripped out of you. And I was just like, holy shit. So I don't not believe in something, but that, I believe we are connected in energy, and I am my dad. I am my dad, literally. It was like he and my mom came together, and that's me. I'm them, right? Physically out of their bodies. And so I do believe that if you put somebody physically out of your body, or you make somebody with your own DNA, that you're likely connected to them in a way that's deeper, more energy, something else. I don't know what it is, but that's what I believe in. I believe in energy.
Well, Brownie, I think that some of the things you said there really resonated with me. And it's some sort of conclusions that I've been developing on my own lately. And maybe other people have sort of documented these theories, but I was going back like a couple 100,000 years, right? And going sort of through evolution and trying to understand things. And I think I have them in a way where they make sense to me of maybe how we ended up here. Like there is some like information that supports like, that we came from pretty obvious places. And so, in evolution, right?
Yeah.
And so I didn't have a religious background. I grew up in hockey rinks. Right. And then I moved to Utah, and it was quite shocking for me to be in a faith-based culture.
Yeah.
There's a lot of faith around here. And so I developed this thing, and maybe it's out there, maybe it's not, where I say it like this. I say, God is Santa Claus. God is Grandpa. God is marijuana. God is Jerry Garcia. God is OxyContin. God is crack. Heaven and hell are on earth. I believe that I'm living in it right now. And
it's both heaven and hell.
I can choose heaven or hell literally on a daily basis. And for me, it's about evil or doing the next right thing. And evil is like, for me, it's real obvious what that is. It's evil, just drugs take me into evil. I can't even believe whoever it was I became. It's like watching somebody in a movie. Heaven on earth is like just about doing the next right thing. And it's whatever I want to look up to, or whatever I care about, or whatever fulfills me and gives me passion. You know, maybe it's like I feel the spirit of something blasting 42 last night and driving around. I feel connected to something by being able to connect with you. I feel that heaven is on earth. I feel that hell is on earth. I shared my belief in the spirit world and how I feel certain things. My grandfather was brutally assaulted at the bus station in Hartford, the train station, when I was 15 years old. And he was like a father to me, and he died weeks later. But I could still feel his spirit, and I can feel, because he was a rudder in my family, I can feel that I've become the rudder, and I'm supposed to do the next right thing. But I was speaking to this person about my belief in the spirit world, and she told me that I cannot be this agnostic atheist hybrid and believe in the spirit world. Do you have a comment on that?
Yeah. I mean, they're right. I mean, I say that I'm an atheist, but then I say that, I mean, I think you can be agnostic, you know what I mean? And like, that's the basis of agnostic, is like, I don't know really what to believe, right? So like, that's why I say I'm an atheist. Maybe I'm agnostic, right? Because I don't really believe the stories that were told are all anything other than allegory. I don't believe that the Red Sea actually parted, you know, but I believe that might be kind of a symbol for something that happened, you know, the way that they tell the story. I mean, there is archaeological evidence of the temple, and so some of the stories that are being told, there's archaeological evidence that supports these stories that are in the Bible, right? But a lot of it, like the supernatural stuff, I think is just like kind of peppered in to make it good. I mean, like, you know, like you need to pepper it. We're still peppering supernatural stuff into every single story that we put out. Like, you have to pepper in the supernatural, or people are not going to pay attention to your shit. And I think it was the same thing for those that wrote the Bible. You know, they peppered it in. They peppered in some cool shit just to hook people in right at the start. And right from the beginning, right at the beginning, it was like, God created all of this. That's like the most supernatural shit of all time. Like, you know, this all happened in 7 days, right? But a lot of people say that's like a symbolic of evolution. The 7 days are symbolic of evolution. We know evolution happened. I mean, we know that it happened because there's a scientific record of it. Every single thing that I learned at the University of Pennsylvania, a school that's now $85,000 a year to attend, I didn't get a degree, which is fine, because if I had a degree, what it would represent is all information that's been disproven in the last 30 years. All of it, every single thing that I learned wasn't quite, I mean, there was Australopithecine, you know, Lucy, the skeleton of Lucy did exist, but we now know that was not the first bipedal animal that existed. They've found other findings that changed how they look at the course of evolution, what went into what, and that's going to continue happening forever. So, you know, but you know, you got to make the story good. Like, you know, there's not a lot of anthropology majors. There's just not, because why? The story's not that great. It's just science. It's not that. It's just like, here, look at the bones. But the religion stuff, man, religion. There's a lot of people studying religion.
Would you say that anthropologists are reality salesmen?
Yeah, that's right. They're selling reality. They're selling truth. But they're also selling information that you have to be careful to take it as truth, because you're going to find a new truth right around the corner.
There you go. I think that is a great note to end.
Oh, where do you go?
My camera just quit.
Dude, it's been great to talk to you guys. Stay in touch, all right?
Later.
Mike, be safe out here.